Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to my podcast. And today, as always, I have a special guest. His name is Fadzil.
Hello, everybody.
My first time meeting him.
Really? Is it
Yeah,
gonna? Yeah.
it's different because I only know you over Facebook.
And actually, I know your sister
That's
more.
all. That's
Yeah,
all I know.
exactly.
That's
I know your
all I
sister
know.
for like 2.5 decades. So yeah, it's
Oh
got
my
that long.
god.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
was like in the early 2000.
Mm,
Exactly. So it doesn't show my age,
oh
but
my god.
yeah,
Okay, I
gotta
didn't
keep
know
quiet like that
that.
one.
But I've never seen you before.
Because I was really here when I got back to Brunei from Singapore in 2000. I left 2004.
From Singapore? Are you Singaporean or
No,
something?
I'm Bruneian, but I studied in Singapore. I work in
Ah,
Singapore. Yeah, so.
okay, right. So today you're here
Mm-hmm.
because I follow you, right? And all I see is your career rising and getting wow. I'm impressed.
Well, what you see in social media is not always the same. Like how when people, oh, we're proud of you, whatsoever. But the hardship, the problems that go along with
Yeah,
it, the struggles and all that, there's
yeah.
a lot actually. To be where I am today, still again, I have a lot to learn.
Mm,
It's never enough, especially you in the creative scene. It's
mm.
never enough. You're always not satisfied about the thing. If you do one project now, you want to do better, or you look back again, what you do wrong, what can you improve again for
I
the next
know,
one?
right? That's
Yeah,
crazy. Okay, just for the listeners, if because they may not have heard of your brand.
yeah.
Okay, so Fazil is a fashion designer. Can I
I
say
would say
that?
I would say a creative director. I don't know how to
Creative
sew. So
director, but in fashion
in
lah.
fashion, yeah.
Like, is it
So
Muslimah fashion or not
it
really?
was. It started with Muslimah fashion, but
Ah,
slowly I tried to go to there's a bigger market for other things as well. So I
okay.
explored that only like a couple of years ago.
Mm.
So yeah, why not venture?
Oh,
So
okay. And this, you were saying this is your mom's business initially?
well, I live in Dubai since 2004. So right after I left Brunei back in 2004. So naturally, kalau if you stay there and then if people heard of Dubai, the first thing people thought of you is that, hey, ada kain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So after a while, I kind of like, like people expect you to bring kain just because you live in Dubai.
Yeah.
But you know what? Might as well just make something out of it since I was there. But then again, I send like kains and all that. And then slowly with juba and stuff
Right.
that I travel around with, my mom helped me to sell all those kains. Initially with offices to offices and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in Dubai for what exactly?
Okay, I work for Emirates. I used to be a cabin crew for
Okay.
Emirates, yeah.
That makes sense.
And
Okay.
yeah, so
No wonder
few
easy lah.
years.
Kalau kan
It's super
shopping or what.
easy. Yeah, I live
Yeah.
there.
Oh man, that's so fun.
Yeah.
All right. And how long were you in Emirates?
I just retired not long ago. A couple of months ago, I decided to call it off after 20 years with Emirates. Well, 20
Wow.
over years to be exact, because I got another offer which is doing the same thing, but more of behind the scene. Pretty much like what I do now, but it's more towards product and service
Mm.
for another airline coming up.
Oh, not
Yeah.
not here.
Not here. I'm gonna move again.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah, I'm
saying.
gonna move to Jakarta next couple of
All
weeks.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Today we're gonna be discussing mainly about your career ups and downs, and this is your first time here, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
we deal with mental health,
Yeah.
anything mental health. This is what we want to talk about. So it's about how life, changes and stuff like that. So I'm just imagining that you've been through quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
in your business with fashion and everything, because you have a brand now,
I have a brand now. Yeah.
and you've done runway and
Yeah,
shows
a
and
couple
stuff
of
like
shows
that.
and stuff. Yeah.
What have you done?
Let me go back again. If we're going back to when I finished my school here, I was at Anthony Abel College. When I finished my O levels, my
Mm,
parents decided to send me to continue my education in
mhm.
Singapore. In Singapore, I took up public relation.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much like mass communications and what have you. And a lot of my friends, when we graduated, we go into either magazines, advertising, TV, and all that. And I continued into events, like models and events. So that's what I did. So when you do like products and stuff, and then you meet up with stylists who actually visualize the stage, the lighting, the clothes that gonna go with the launch and what have you. So that's how I met a lot of people from the fashion background.
The whole production lah
The whole production actually. So, but before you never thought about fashion, but we don't know much about fashion back in the 90s. Growing up in the 90s, you grow up with very, very limited. Remember those days? You only have 3 TV channels. Was it 4?
Yeah.
You got RTV, you got RTM1, RTM2, and TV3.
Yeah.
That's all. You don't have anything else. You do not have any. You don't have internet. You don't have any other references as easy as how they are today. So it's somehow it's kind of new for me back then. In a way, it's very exciting as well. Of course, the money is good, because we don't have such thing back then, like something like that. And for me, based in Singapore, open up my eyes. We do events in KL, we do events in Bangkok, Manila, Singapore, Hong Kong.
Oh my gosh, cha.
That was circa early 90s, 92, 93.
That's a great time.
It was one of the best time, actually. Yeah. We talk about the old times, kan?
Yeah.
Jurudong Park, those times, actually.
Anything can be anything, at that time. Like, you can make it at that time.
Yeah. But then again, it's kind of difficult as well because it's really important for you back then is like how you actually with other people. How you coming from Brunei, I'm not exposed to this kind of thing. Furthermore, I live in Syria, Panaga, everything shuts at 7 p.m. But when I moved to Singapore, you open up your mind and you mix around with the people, you mix around with your classmates actually push me to into the directions that how shall I say it, to be more involved in the creative part. Because it's not easy, because that's how you open up your eyes actually. You learn a lot of things. You want to venture everything,
So did you when you first went to Singapore, started living there?
Yeah.
Pakai tak?
Mudah lah, apa lagi? Mudah kan? Yalah, sakai lah, like one of those age. Because that's the thing, because you never experienced it before, and then you experience it yourself, and then you just want to be part of it. But to be part of it, it wasn't easy as well because it's a very small. Back in the 90s, it's a very small group. I would say, it's very people like stick to their community.
Orang-orangnya saja.
Exactly. I'm actually happy to be in that orang-orang, and those orang-orang that I'm with today were nobody back then as well.
Right.
Just helping, backstage and whatever. But slowly the interest was there. But then again, I was the hardship. This is about mental health. Then I ventured into the business as well. In 97, around 1997, 98, I don't know if you remember this, it was the Asian financial crisis. Yeah. So me and my business partner and all that. So what we're going to do, the directions that we're going to do and all, because there's so many businesses were affected back then. I think that's the time when you see so many tall buildings in KL or in Jakarta or even Bangkok back then. Durang buat but pernah siap until a few years later jadi pukok, jadi apa dia,
Hidup jadi.
Exactly. And then it was really sad because maybe we don't experience that here in Brunei, but I've seen how it was politically as well, where they burn businesses and all that. I remember those days actually. My Chinese friends from Indonesia was badly affected for that. As long as you see like Chinese name or Chinese establishment, durang tunu kereta durang and all that,
Easiest way.
It is actually, but So
No choice.
exactly, and I think after a while in that business, I was in Singapore for almost 10 years. I remember it was like 10 years. And then okay, what am I going to do with myself? Okay, if this doesn't go well, let's take a breather. Because if you think about it, if you think about on your business all the time, you have to think about something else. And being in a background where your parents doesn't understand fully what you're doing in the creative side, they were like, okay, why don't you get to do something more stable and all that. So what I did was Okay, I will go home, but what I'm going to do and go home. And I told my friends and my colleagues back then, I said, you know what, let me travel. That's the reason I came back here. I applied for Royal Brunei. I became a chemist
Right.
in Royal
Oh,
Brunei.
that's smart.
Yeah.
Oh, better daripada
It was
belanja
supposed to
belanja.
be 2 years. And then
Okay.
become 3 years, and then 3 years was almost 4 years. And I told myself, you know, I kind of like it, but again, the destination is really small here. You always go back to the same places and all that. But what keeping me was, you know, your colleagues was nice here in Brunei.
It's fun.
Break, and then it's different from the lifestyle I led like before that. But I said to myself, you know what? Okay, since I really enjoy what I'm doing right now, might as well I just do something similar with a bigger airline. That's where Emirates came into the picture.
Wow. So you applied.
Applied for it. It was 2004, 1st of April. I don't even have a break. I remember it was my last flight was March 28, and 1st of April I flew back again to Dubai to start. I really even finished my leave or what have you.
You are like murah rezeki, huh?
Alhamdulillah.
I know. Like some people try to get into Emirates and they can't. They just.
Well, it's my second time actually. My mom still kept the rejection letter because I did it before and I know why I didn't get it. Gambar dalawak. You remember when you asked your dad to take a picture? Yeah, and then the second stage of it, and then when you learn more how people applied and all that. So I use professional photography. That's when I make use of my resources.
Right.
Kawan lama.
Are you sure
Check,
that's the reason?
I believe so. Because nothing changed. My qualification didn't change or whatever. But then again, I think that's why I applied. And it was really good because it was like 500 people who applied and then it trimmed down to about 20 and then they took about 4 at the end. Yeah, and I was lucky enough to be part of it. I think I remember when I arrived in Dubai, there were like about 3,000 cabin crew from Emirates. And Bruneian, there's a few of us actually.
Amazing.
Part of it. And when I left, it was like already 25,000. That was just months ago. Yeah, so I was part of it. Now the thing is, how I started into all this. So now we spoke about mental health of the Asian financial crisis. That was in 1997, 1998.
How badly were you affected mentally?
Quite bad because there's not much jobs.
So
a lot of people who used to have all these big budgets and all that, they cut it by half or nothing at all. A lot of people that I work with, they're all like the big bosses and what have you, but they lost their jobs.
No one can help anyone.
Oh, nobody can help anybody. Nobody can really survive actually, unless you keep your business costs low back then. That's the only for you to survive. Exactly.
Until it all passes.
Being a foreigner myself in Singapore, and you know how it's the cost of living.
Yeah.
Then in Singapore compared to today, lah. But then again, it was a lot easier back then. But then again, it still is a struggle, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the Asian financial crisis. And I came here, I remember, and then after that, there's another one. Even though I wasn't badly affected for that, but I can imagine other people during the H1N1. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The bird flu in Hong Kong. Yeah. Again, because I still keep my my business with my partner running it in Singapore. But at the end, it's not fair. They've been through all the ups and downs, and I wasn't there because I was here. And I promised them I was going to come back. I never did. So eventually, I sold the business.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to explore more.
I'm coming back.
Right?
Not really.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I did never. We're still friends.
Okay.
Of course, we're still friends. Yeah. And then I sold the business in 2003, I think 2002. That was after that the H1N1. Before you bungkus tutup habis, I might as well just get something out of it as well. And then I applied for Emirates and I was there. From 2004. But 2004 is nothing much really. I didn't see until like probably a decade later, like the potentials of doing businesses. That's where the jubah and the kain comes in, the Swarovski or whatsoever.
Yeah. That was in Kalia.
Everybody like balik-balik, balik batu and all that. Kau tinggal di Dubai juga. Tinggal di Dubai pun, but I have to go there. I have to take a taxi. I get the transport for me to get there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went into that business. My mom ran that. We joined things like consumer fair here,
Oh, okay.
and then a couple of other. It's a home business. My
So you bring
mom.
a lot. You bring
Yeah, like we use
oh,
sometimes cargo, like logistics
bro
wise to send
business.
here. Yeah.
Oh my
We
goodness.
we like thousands or like few hundreds
Oh,
at a
okay.
time, and then we got people come over like lunchtime and all that. I got nothing to do with it, to be honest, because it's my mom's. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's her and her clients. Your mom been there. I think we spoke about this before. Yeah, she's one of the
Okay.
the clients.
Klien
For my mom.
rupanya.
And then it happened one day. Um, okay, it's actually coincide with a lot of other things. Actually, my nephew was sick, and then my dad was sick, and then I came back to Brunei a lot, and my mom couldn't keep up with
Orders.
with the orders or to
Right.
mend the shop because there's a lot of commute. Even there's a lot of commute between me here to apa namanya ni to the hospital. I remember going up and down Repas or GPMC. And the same thing with my late nephew as well because he was sent to Singapore. So there's a lot of things that you need to keep together with your family, and that it does affect the business actually.
Of course.
But my mom was saying that you keep on getting all the things, that beautiful stuff and all that from Dubai here. Have you thought about doing the opposite since Dubai is a bigger market? I'm like, think about it, Manarjua. I said, what can I do? And I remember I don't know if you remember this, is that at one time things from Vietnam was very big.
Yeah.
You know those jubah with the stones, the embroidery,
I
what have
only
you.
remember little handbags
Yeah.
from Vietnam.
I know yang bakal lah tau.
Yeah,
Yeah,
si
but
Rosie dulu membeli.
okay. But
know
I
what that
remember
was.
this thing was really in. I flew there and I remember I sell. It was really we sold a lot of it. And then my mom said, "Why don't you do the opposite?" And coming back, and I'm like, "What can I do exactly?" It was around 2016, 2017 when the new Crown Prince of Saudi mentioned about modest clothing doesn't have necessarily to be black. This is coming from Saudi.
Okay.
That was 2016 or 2017.
There was an announcement.
It was.
It
was, yeah.
Oh.
And then they said, like it used to be like government offices and all that. You see people with the burqa and all that, the abaya, semua hitam. So maybe you can explore with colors. So this is where I came in because I have the resources. I have the people who did yang tempat supply me the abayas from Dubai that time. What I did was we choose like all the pastel colors and what have you, get them to cut according to the current abayas. The normal one until the same one till today in colors, but I have them made with some embroideries from Vietnam. So because the ladies actually in Vietnam, this is back to the tailor that I found yang buat embroidery ni, actually they send it to another kampung lagi in Ho Chi Minh. They are a bunch of old ladies, so they need about 2 to 3 weeks to actually siapkan all those intricate and all that. Okay. And I remember I went with my best friend when I received it. I don't know, Barry. Yeah. So he was there actually. Oh wow! That's it. The first time I received that collection, I brought it back to Dubai, and we assembled it back again. Cause separate kan all those pieces. Then kan just cut, but we haven't sambung the whole thing. And then when my tailor was like, "This is beautiful. You can sell it really expensive here." And then like, "How expensive is it?" I said, "Like, or maybe like few hundreds and all that." Are you kidding me? Like. Okay, really? Then how much can I sell? So it's like, why don't you go to these shops along the strip of there's a road called Al Wasil Road in Dubai. It's like so-called the Dubai Bling Road. Tapi abaya lah ha.
Oh, okay.
So we went in there. I went in there and then explored like, wow, not bad lah. Tapi who am I? I don't have a shop.
Right.
I have a shop. So a best friend of mine was saying that, why don't you join me? I have this thing. He got this like apa namanya ni yang the famous Taiwanese drink ni, the bubble tea thing. And he said they have this macam the grounds of ladies club at the Westin in Dubai. But it's only for ladies. And they said, why don't you put your stuff there? Maybe my staff can mend it. Like, okay, so we'll see. And I put my
You
stuff
have
there.
the connections for this
Well,
sort
not
of.
really. I paid for it actually. It's actually on the ground. It's not even nice. But rumput-rumput, But it's a tent. It's a beautiful tent. But it's
Okay.
because it was held during winter, so it's beautiful, Jakan. It's
Okay.
like 15 degrees, 16 degrees, and
Yeah.
then people run through the thing. And surprisingly, it's sold out.
Wow.
It's sold out.
Start. It's a good
This
start.
exactly because mine is different. You see a lot of blacks, but you don't see a lot of colors.
Yeah.
And then when you see a lot of colors, and then after that, I keep on doing it the same, another shape, another part.
Yeah.
And then I was approached. I owe it big time to this lady. Her name is Annalisa. She's Italian. What she does is she poach headhunting like new designers. So that's how she found me actually.
No
She asked
way.
me, who made this, And then my brand Chantique, it's just Chantique,
Yeah.
but nobody knows where it's from. And they always thought that I was from Malaysia or Indonesia, which is there's a big numbers of designers yang dari luar sana, but nobody ever heard from Brunei before.
No, yeah, exactly.
So she said, well, Ramadan's gonna come up in a couple of months and all that. Would you like to put your stuff in my shop and see how it goes? And I said, okay, why not? So what's the catch? So, because I don't want to come up with big money and, rent is really expensive there.
Yeah.
So she represents like multi-labels from other countries and what have you.
Oh.
And then she said, okay, I can put your rack here. You can put like 20 pieces maximum and see how it goes from there. And then it was they have this party before Ramadan. And then they invited all the people and all that. And then the response was really good. But I can see the competition is quite, because you got people from Lebanon, people got from Syria, whatever.
They're not doing colors like you.
Well, they have, because the thing is, it's not for me back then. I've seen it, but I don't know what is it called. All those jalabiyas la, whatever. Because I don't know what kind of. I thought this is like an everyday wear for them. But with the blings that I put on those colors, it's actually something different that they've never seen before, apart from all the blacks before that.
Intro the introduction.
Exactly, yeah.
Right,
I know.
right.
Years later, after that, everybody's doing it. Then, well, that's a beginning. And then I see sometimes, like people come to because I'm the type that thought I was like just another Filipino salesman standing next to because every designer represent that. They didn't know that was actually me who actually standing next to my booth on that day. And I can see how they, oh yeah, but this is nicer and all that. It's like, oh, how dare you, like you do that. But that's just where you begin to be like, oh my God, these people are really, they really pushed it. How are they very aggressive? And here I came from the 90s, then I've been absent from the fashion world for a very long time. I know it's a beachy world. I know how people actually step on top of another, but this is another level. Because we, at the end of the day, for being Asian, we still are reserved about one another. We're not really push it, like majal ni orang. But down there, you can see actually, okay, you know what? I'm going to step up my game as well. You do this to me, I'll do this back to you again.
You did me, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I've stopped being nice. So, you can be aggressive as well. So I did that. But sometimes
it's nothing but
at the
business.
end of the day, it's been business. Exactly. And it was like a couple of weeks long, and then it went well. And then from there, she said, you know what? I'm going to put you permanent here. Why don't you? And then I remember she cleaned up with the designers and all that, how many people that she wanted to be represented.
You owe your career to her then.
What's
her name again?
Annalisa. She's Italian.
Where is she now?
She's still there.
In Dubai.
Yeah. And the shop used to be called All Concept. Unfortunately, it's closed during COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ada tu lagi.
Ada. Anyway, thanks to that shop, there was an event. I forgot that what was the event name called, but it was organized by someone in Dubai with Fashion Valet. I remember they round out all the people in the modest fashion industry there. But the thing is, for you to join that event, because it's like B2B, you meet with other clienteles and all that, to find the potentials to put in shops or whatever. But I well, I just want to see, before I fork out my own money. Mind you, I do not have any investors or whatsoever.
Sendiri, ya?
Sendiri, whatever I have, my allowances, whatever I fork out from my savings to do that. So I told my friend, I said, you know what? So since you're beautiful, might as well you just wear my abaya. Let's come to this thing with me. So we went.
Wait, siapa? Are you allowed to say?
Casey Zara Druid. I don't even know her. She used to be a student here.
Is she a model in your show?
She never modeled for me on a catwalk, but she modeled for me. My first campaign for it, she was. She used to go to school here as well in Stipri. She's beautiful. She's half mother Bruneian, father English, not mistaken. Yeah. So from there, like kawan kan, so the only can think of it is to have a Bruneian friend to help you. So she helped me. We took the pictures and what have you. But that's when she got noticed. It's like, oh my God, where's your abaya from? And she pointing out, that's the designer. Don't tell people about this. I'm not even a designer, because yes, everything that I put it together, but I didn't do much.
I see you as a designer.
Really?
Oh.
No. I have yet to learn. I'm still learning. So we'll come back to that actually.
Okay.
And that's it. And fast forward, somebody came to the shop one day and sees that the potential is there and asked if I would like to join IFDC, which is a big organization in the Middle East called Islamic Fashion Design Council.
Yeah.
So what they do is they also, again, they handpick like modest fashion and bring it over to wherever their apa namanya ni? I think they have it in Istanbul, they have it in Dubai. For that particular year, they were with Torino Fashion Week, which is in Italy. So they asked me if I don't mind to join. So I joined. What's the catch? I said, oh, if you can, how many? I submitted. Actually, you know what? Let me backtrack this story. Actually, I remember saw this also from IFDC, which is posted by IFDC and the singer Yuna.
Okay.
In KL Kanto, but he actually
in US.
She advertised it for Malaysian designers.
Oh, right.
At the same time, my niece saw it, and my niece said, "I think you should join this."
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I told my niece, I said, "It's funny that you mentioned that because IFDC already approached me
Wow.
to do it. So I think it's meant to be. If the stars is aligned for you, it's already there." Yeah. So I joined. I only submit my work, my pictures atulah, the one that I took pictures, and they saw my work and all that in the shop. Yep. And then they asked me if I would like to represent the UAE for the modest category atulah. So I went.
You represent UAE tu pula.
I represent UAE. But I was smart. Even though I represent the UAE, Chantique, I put Brunei.
Oh yeah, it's your logo, right?
Yeah.
Part of the logo.
That's camouflage kan je Chantique tu.
Yeah.
I put my real name because I was working for another company.
Nggak boleh kah?
Actually, nggak boleh because you're not allowed to by right. You're not allowed to, But then again, later when you find the loop and all that, you can because I'm not physically there, and it's actually the levels carried by the shop, and it's actually from here. So eventually, I get around with it. But so that was 2018. Is it 2018? Yeah, I think it was 2018. I joined. I brought 20 new collections for that. But what I didn't know, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people from Saudi, from the US, from Italy, and apparently there's a winner. They're gonna choose a winner from these people who participated in the show. An award lah.
All right.
And then my name was called.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I was kind of surprised because I remember there's another really good fashion designer from Indonesia. She was there with me in that show. They even put a Madame Tussauds doll of her in Switzerland. She's actually based in Switzerland.
What? Why?
Yeah. She's unique.
Wow.
Yeah, she's unique. Yeah.
She's unique. You're unique.
Yeah. Well, I'm nobody. But then again, I learned something from her.
I don't get it.
Again, when I won, and it's a nice feeling, but it's something that I don't anticipate. With so much going on
right
in Brunei with with my dad's help, with my late nephew's help, there's so much going on,
Huh?
you know,
Hindi to
like
sink in.
huh?
Hindi to,
The sing in pulang, and then when you talk, but you see, you do everything by yourself.
yeah.
Because I'm one of those actually would not like to portray with my work about I'm a fashion designer.
Okay.
No, I'm far from it actually. Unless
okay.
you step on my foot,
Oh.
then I step back at yours again, double dua kali lagi. You know, like
who
with
I
the
am.
competition, yeah. Well, not in that sense of like
Yeah, I gotcha.
like with that thing. Then, one of the prize for that was to represent again IFDC. So they're gonna pick up three designers from they presented three awards for this event to represent the modest fashion wear for Milan Fashion Week that year.
Wow.
So that was in September 2018. That was my first fashion week ever, I would say.
Wow.
And it's Milan.
I like
so
that. And you're Bruneian.
exactly, kan? And then tapi the sad thing is, like you do organize everything by yourself. Nobody knows that you're gonna go there. I remember my suitcase was like two big full suitcase, was like 20 kilo each. And then we walk down to the pebbles of the road. There's not like bukannya rata to betal macam sini whatsoever. And so spoil kan naik kereta turun kereta with all the cobbles and all that. Sakit kaki, pelicok pun ada. By the time you finish with that, and then I remember the write up about it was nice. It was, but even though some of them I don't really understand, I only got the exposure of the things that I did was for the write up media back in the UAE and the Italian punya media, but I was never here. So that's why Brunei is not in the picture at all yet. Yeah, and then the following year again.
My God.
Then after that, Hari Raya again one more time.
So you prepared everything, right? Hard work, all by yourself. And your models, Chana, they provide.
No, that one is the organizer lah.
So you didn't have to pay for anyone's flight lah.
No.
Your own flight.
My own flight, like I have to.
Yeah, so you went there.
If you're working for an airline, you pay 10%, so it's easy actually.
Okay, that really helped.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not 14 hours away. I was only like about 6.5 hours from Dubai to Milan.
Great position.
Yeah, so it's really close. So that's the other pro and cons juga.
So tapi okay, let me just ask you about the process. Like sepetrikah the baju, is it yourself?
It was tedious.
Is it you doing it?
When it comes to professional show production, where people who organize fashion weeks and all that, they have everything. Like of course, you knowing that you want to present a really good collection. I don't even thought about barat ka kain atau kan dibawa and all that.
You're on adrenaline anyway.
Actually, exactly, because I just don't want to go wrong, and you have this one chance that you have to do it right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I already do what I know what I was already doing like 2 years before that, and then I came with that collection, and then eventually I just what, I'm not there to win or anything. I'm not there. Your expectation at the end of the day. If you have too high expectations, so you just you need to learn to be in the middle. It is kind of gila. I remember sometimes I don't have enough sleep because sometimes ideas only came like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. And remember, I'm not there full time as a fashion designer. I'm there also like doing my job at the time with all the jet lags and what have you. But for some reason, I think I managed. And it wasn't easy as well. I remember when I was to present that thing, So what, you make money down there? This is some friends. I don't know if I should call them friends. And then when I want to start this, I have people who say, but you know what, Fadzil, everybody wants to be a fashion designer these days. So I don't want to be a fashion designer. I just know what I want to assemble. Remember that thing that with the resources that I have in Vietnam and my tailor in Dubai back then. I'm not there to be Karl Lagerfeld or any of those big fashion houses. For me, as long as it's just sell, aku happy sudah. So mentally, there are people who's gonna put you down.
Yeah.
How
do you handle that? Do you think about it?
Not really. Ada. There are times.
Depends on the person, kala.
I think so. You sometimes you surround by people that you're with, those who claim that you're their friends, those who actually so opinionated. They have a lot of things to say. I can understand because the real friends would say things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, but really, really good friends is when you know they really give you encouragement. If you never try, you never know. And I got this actually from my mom. If you never try, you would never know. And she's like the one who pushed me. I remember it was bulan Ramadan to that time, in 2018, when I said, should I do this? You know, should I like go to Italy to visit? Yeah, might as well. You know, like what is there for you to get to? There's nothing to lose. You know, there's nothing. You might as well just do it. So I did. Um, put aside those people who said behind your back, or people who said right in front of your face, oh, you know, like everybody's gonna do that. You know, call it Indonesia. You know, it's this modest thing. They has been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Look at them, how far they
No
are.
big deal.
You know that. But it's funny actually because I was looking at Indonesian fashion actually. You know, like those are like, if you compare to any countries in ASEAN, I look at Indonesia because Indonesia are very creative when it comes to modest fashion. Modest fashion in our part here in Brunei and Malaysia back then is baju kurung or kebaya and betudong. That's all I can think of modest.
Yeah.
Maybe my understanding of modest was different probably. As long as baju yang bertutup sana and it's long and no body hugging or whatever. So that's my idea of modest fashion. But at the end, I do what I do best. I just try my best. I don't want to push it too hard. I just do like I know what. Actually, kalaupun at the end of the day, they see it, it's fine because with that, I can use the pictures, I get the exposure, I learn about fashion shows. That my very, very, very first fashion show, that is the one in Torino, the one that I won the award. And with the same baju I bring back, then sell. That's all that matters for me because after that was Raya Haji, because Raya Haji is bigger there in Middle East more than Hari Raya.
That's right.
But then again, regardless, also Ramadan is not just Ramadan because Ramadan is where I sell the most in Dubai back in the day because they use that for that we call it iftar, sungkai ni orang. So they're really dressed to the tent, and there's a lot of Ramadan tents all over the big hotels in Dubai. I remember I dressed my friends. We went to Bush Al Arab. I dressed all my friends in abaya. Oh, you pakai ni all this. So we take pictures and all that.
Your creations.
Yeah. So you know, you don't need models. You know, sometimes you just use your friends.
Whatever looks great. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And they did. Yeah. So you got sporting friends who supported you throughout this journey, and and it's all. And then it went well. And then the following year again, I did again another season. I did a show in Italy, and I was awarded the best rising star for Rinascente, which is a department store in Milan.
What?
And we did
Why are you not your name not being said more in Brunei?
Kan? Not that I want it.
No, but it should.
Yeah, but we get back to that much later.
Continue.
I did actually. It's only like back in 2019, right after I won that another award from Italy. I came back because I want to find out if people like me or not here. Because I would love to collaborate. True enough, I don't know how I get touch with their Salam Enterprise.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember now. There used to be a pool of locals yang ada their own brands, and they were all together. I remember back there was in QLab. They had like about 4 or 5 people, you know, they got their brands. The Little Dayang, there was Adika, and then there was Kabaju, you know, all that. And these local brands and all that. And I met up with them, and then they said, you know what, we're thrilled that you're back. Would you like to do a motivational talk, to be all these people? I said, you know what, because I've been keeping it too long, you know, like, when my journey was always about all by myself, and it's a self-discovery also to help up with other designers, because I don't want them to go through what I've been through before. You know, if I know there's a lot of other really potential designers here. Before I jumped into the business, there was Farhana, which is Nafora. then I remember I approached her. I said, you know, like, can we have a chat one day? You know, and all that. But we never come around to do that until much way later. So from there, I did a talk there in the auditorium, and it was like it was a good turnout, and I think that's the only start where Bruneians knows me.
Right.
But
Oh, ada but dikit.
yeah, there was a but. So it's like how I talk to you right now.
Uh-huh.
Probably mulut ko ni lancang jo. You know, when I talk, it's just me. I'm just being myself.
Okay.
I don't want to be pretentious and all that.
Yeah.
Immediately, I think when we finished the talk, I think it was like around a couple of hours later, my name was mentioned in Reddit.
Oh no! Is it
Yes.
bad?
It was a bad one.
Oh God!
I don't want to read it. You know,
Who told you?
Somebody like
Your
one of
friend
them, actually, yeah, one of my friends
read it.
actually.
Okay.
And then it's like, so what did they say? Oh, he said like what you talk about apa? It's like, oh yeah, of course it's easy for him because he have a smooth start. He lives in Dubai, you know, he started in Singapore, he lives in Dubai and all that.
Gajinya besar. He got money.
Well, they didn't say that, but they said, oh, you know, like maybe di mata durang macam sumbong bunyinya. But I just have to say what I have to say. I don't recall me saying any of those things. But it's funny how people quick to judge.
It must be orang yang attended that talk.
Obviously,
Yeah, there was
local too.
Whoa.
You know, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but you know what? These things never, because the thing is, there are their opinions. Everybody entitled with their own opinions.
Yeah.
You know, but people who knows me, or people who are dear to me, or you don't even know me, I am just about what I am. What you see is transparent. I don't give anything less. I do not give anything more.
Okay.
If anything I can help you with, I will tell you. If I can't help you, I will tell you straight to your face as well.
What you see is what you get, lah, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to be pretentious, you know, like because I've like I said, I've already been in that fashion world or the entertainment world back in the early 90s, which is way worse.
Yeah, it's
You know,
catchy, yeah.
like you say, oh, you're Malay boy, ah. Yeah, we got that before. You know, like. Oh, I thought, you know, like it's a Chinese company, you know, like a bit of racism and all that, but it wasn't big back then, but you kind of feel it, you know?
Like it's there, you can
there,
feel it.
but then again, doesn't, you know, like, but that's where you build your character. But it doesn't bother you at the end of the day.
We call that resilience, okay? We're building resilience.
But that's the thing. And I come and think about it again. You know, here I am trying to make a name for myself because I probably did my name for myself, but you got this negativity. I'm sure it's not everybody, but it's like one or two of that particular person who write me. I thank you today, actually, you know, because it doesn't bother me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I have planned ahead of what things I want to do because it gets better and it gets better and it gets better. But remember, once you're on the top, sometimes it can just drag you down to the floor just like that. And I remember the things that I was supposed to do, my plans for 2020, 2022 or beyond, you know, then COVID came. Right.
This is the time.
So, yeah, then COVID came. And then everything is just the association FDC pun back then. I remember they have problems, you know. I remember some of my collection that I sold in Italy. I couldn't get some of the money back with me because you need to cover yourself whatever expenses that you did, right? Yeah. That's because, like, you know how it is, because they closed the department store during that time, and then like the rate of like 80,000 people died because of COVID on that particular time. The last thing you want is for me to call out, okay, where's my money and all that. So do you know what? It come to a point macam sudah tu number one you kau dah dapat balik, and then on top of that, that's where people in aviation was really, really badly affected.
Yeah.
It affects you mentally because every like fortnight, I think like every once a week ada email, and every time the email comes into your phone, like, oh, siapa lagi ni kanan ni? Because that's where people, they lay off a lot of people from that 20 over 1,000 I was telling you about. They lay off almost like 9,000 plus people. Of my colleagues that was let go, pilots, the cabin crew, people in the office and what have you. And then I remember I did a lot of repatriation flights and all that. And if you think about it again, I still have a job. I still have my stuff lying around somewhere. I can just sell online or whatsoever. But here are people who lost their job. They have a family and they have to go home.
Yeah.
So you have to look at other things that you think that was really bad on you, but think about other people who have
Yeah.
it much worse than that. They have a family to feed and all, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? Just go as it is. So I didn't do anything. But because I was a member of Asian Fashion Designers Showcase, it said, yes, we do not have any fashion shows this year or whatever but we're going to have digital. So that's to keep your juice, flow, your creative flowing and all that. So we're going to do a lot. And from there, the alliance build up. It was also that there was Fashion Network, which is based in New York. Took out the videos and they handpicked, the people from ASEAN, and Brunei was one of them as well, was handpicked to be part of the digital fashion. And it was spreading because, there's no physical fashion show, but, there for us to keep alive and to keep the community together. So we do all that. And I remember I don't have the budget to spend on models. I do not have the budget to spend on to hire a photographer or whatever. So that's where the skill of your videography comes in. Your editing comes in.
Who did it? Yourself?
I did it myself in my backyard. You're not allowed to go out. Remember, in your backyard, you're not allowed to go out.
Yeah, you're right.
And, my models are actually my colleagues.
Why not?
No. My colleagues in Emirates.
Oh, in Emirates. Was she not in Emirates? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I also have Wana actually. Wana was she was in Abu Dhabi back then, but it was a while back.
Okay.
That was when I was still beginning to that time.
Right.
One of them as well, yeah.
Okay.
And then then from there goes another one, and then it goes another one. And it was that year, Expo 2020, World Expo was supposed to be held in Dubai, but it got cancelled.
Yeah.
But in relation to the history that I have back with Dar es Salaam Enterprise, they asked if I could help them with our consulate in Abu Dhabi, Brunei consulate in United Arab Emirates back then. We can help up with them with the expo. I said, oh, you would like to put your stuff in there? I said, of course. Because I have no source of income back then again. And then our salary was slashed by 50% in aviation. And on top of that, but then again, you still need the money to fork out to pay for your tukang jahit and all whatever you can. And then, thank God, it was 2021 and 2021. It was delayed for another year, 2021 and 2022. And Brunei have their own standalone building for Brunei. It was the first time ever in Brunei history, actually, they have a standalone building for Brunei where people learn about the culture, where Brunei is. Nobody knows much about Brunei. The funny thing that when they think about Brunei back then, either they thought I'm from Africa, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, or they think, oh, you must be rich, you have a lot of gold. That's the mentality of thinking about Brunei, kan? Yeah. But yeah, it's more to that actually. We have also fashion design. So thank you to Dare. I owe them a lot. Then they put my stuff there. They have a corner where there was like, if I'm not wrong, correct me. Brunei Expo, I think it was close to 700,000 or 800,000 people who came to, bigger than our population, who came through Brunei stand.
Wow.
Yeah, to the Brunei stand. And that's where I build up my clients again.
Bagus job.
And through there was interviews arranged for like TV stations, or even Dubai One TV and all that.
Wow.
That's where it came back up again. Unfortunately, at the same time, during that 2020, I lost the placement at the shop where I actually put from the beginning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that place closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't sustain, the gaji, their pekerja or the rent or whatever, and you're not allowed to. So unfortunately, they closed. But my lifeline now is from my own people. So that's how I started again. And then physical fashion show was not till 2023. Then I was in remember we talked about how I look up on modest fashion being in Indonesia.
Right.
So ASEAN actually approached, if you don't mind to do, this is so you, he said, this is so you, like modest, like compared to our other counterparts. Like, do you want to participate? Of course, I don't want to say no. For the very first time, I did my first fashion show at MUFES, which is Muslim Fashion Festival, in 2023. It was for before Ramadan. It was way before Ramadan. And starting from there, then I got another one again. And I remember I did like 3 or 4 fashion shows in Indonesia back in 2023, and again in 2024. And then back in it, I did, but again, then slowly, back in Italy. And then I did stuff and I managed to sell again. And then slowly other, like other designers that those, like who actually help one another. We put up some other shops, and again, it was not always smooth.
It sounds smooth, okay?
No, it doesn't.
That's the way you're talking right now.
Yeah, but still, there are. I also still lost. Like I remember, I put up in one of this shop, a beautiful shop in City Walk in Dubai.
Okay.
As beautiful as glitzy, how you can see Burj Khalifa from there.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of my collections in that shop, but that shop also closed down and took the money with it.
What?
I did. Yeah, I didn't. I remember I sold a lot.
Kalian?
I didn't get the money till today.
Why?
Kurang lari.
Someone.
Yeah, and for you to dispute on a small claim court trying to get your money, you need to hire a lawyer. And exactly, and then the lawyer, like at the end of the day, it's not worth it.
Oh, no.
And, but through thick and thin, this Italian lady, Lisa, who helped me a lot to to chase this particular individual and all that. And then there's Rezeki. The one is closed. There's always another place, Buka. And I always we have it with an open mind. It's not always easy. So that's why it's not easy. When it comes to mental health, I think it drains my energy a lot, because sometimes you put 110% or 200% of the things that you really want to do, but sometimes there are people who can spoil it. There are people who take advantage of it. People want things for free and all that. But sometimes I do it for pro bono because of a reason, which I think benefits for me as a businesses as well. But sometimes kasihan juga adalah people who really want to have your stuff, but try to make it more affordable according to the budget or what have you. So I always believe in what you give to other people, it actually come back to you. It doesn't have to be monetary at all times.
Yeah.
So this is the things that you need to keep in mind, because I think about the time when I was so susah, I have to think about there are people more susah than me. And then, but that's the thing. And even with susah and all that, with whatever money in the empty holes of my pockets, I still try to pay to people to make the baju during the COVID times, because they got no budget to make, but I need to put something in the store during COVID. So in a way, you also helping out one another. And from there, I found, that's why all this, the thing when it was down and the shops closed, the kind that I'm familiar with and all that were closed, I found somebody else. And then I found this Russian lady who did all my clothes until today.
What?
She's the reason where I push Bangkit and all that, because she do a lot for musicals.
Oh, right.
Sekolah doesn't have anything back then. And then she saw me struggling with my stuff and all that. And then she saw my stuff one day on the table with my tailor. And she said, with the sketch that you do, that one, it wouldn't work with this material. It dies. So that's the thing, because I never have a formal...
She just appeared.
She was there. She was doing her stuff.
And approach you, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw her like once or twice, and then she's a big mama, yeah, she's Russian, and then like the thing is, you know how they can be stern, but they kind of friendly juga. Then I got to know that she used to live in Hong Kong, so she knows the kind of the people that we work with, like with the kind of materials and what's suitable for hot weather, what's suitable for humid weather.
At the time, you were not certain about this material stuff, and she told you.
I learned. Yeah, I learned from her. There's no there's no money involved. I don't need to pay whatever, but she's sharing her knowledge with me, and I learn a lot from her.
Oh, that's so nice.
Like the way she cuts her stuff, the way the textile and all that, and I owe up to her a lot. Yeah, her name is Jenny. I'll show this to her someday. And Annalisa, these two ladies are the most important people
so awesome.
in my life. But from there, the collection grows again. And the things that I learn, because it gives me sometimes, if I were to move forward, let's say if COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't have met these people.
Yeah.
You know,
everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. And then perhaps maybe I would do some expansion, maybe impulsive. You never know where I was going to go, you know, but you take a chance of the things that you want to do. If you believe in yourself, if you eliminate negativity around you, there's always toxic people around.
Yeah.
There's always toxic people around. But why do you want to listen to these people? They're not the one who buys your clothes. This is how you change the mentality, right? Away 360 degrees, you know? Yeah. They are not the people who support you and all that. They can commend for all they want. They can be the biggest fashion critics for all they want, but they're not your clientele.
The fashion experts.
Exactly. The fashion everybody suddenly become fashion experts, which you don't listen much to them. You only listen to your intuition, what you believe on, first of all, and secondly, listen to your clients. You know, and I see like, oh, you know what? I believe that you can do this, you know, like club wears and stuff and resort. So I venture with my new tailor, Jenny, who actually, you know what? You have an eye for this textile. You have eye for this textile. Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought of doing that? So I branch out more from just modest. I came up with a Christmas collection. With pindek, whatever, you know. So I just push myself beyond the limit of what I actually capable of doing.
Right.
If you never try, you never know.
So that's the latest one, lah.
That's the latest one now. So I have my resort collection, which is also available in Bali now. We just launched it only like November last year.
Wow.
I did a couple of stuff. Also for the government sometimes. We did one collection recently with Farhana.
Okay.
But I don't know if we put that in I don't know if you've seen it around in media, but it's actually made of jong sarat.
I've seen pictures of
the jong sarat also because we want to make it not for Brunei market. So we did something which is suitable for the market outside of Brunei using jong sarat. So it was. We didn't know it was a big deal of an event because it's to commemorate 40 years relationship of Brunei and the Philippines.
I saw that.
So Princess Masna was there, and the First Lady of the Philippines was there. So it was a very good event.
So cool.
Yeah, it is. So and then again, I invited to do a show in where was that again? Yeah, I did in Bali, and then I did again in Philippines.
Yeah,
and
even Farhana, her brand doesn't look Bruneian. First time I saw,
really,
I was like near whatever. I was like, this is yours. Oh no.
Yeah.
Bruneian. And I'm like,
it's very funny. We actually flew with a lot of sponsors here. But me and Farhana, we did the show together, can talk. And then when we finished the show, it's like, you guys are Bruneian, so you guys did this. Yeah. Have you guys done this before? I said, yeah.
Bruneian, we just don't believe in our people.
Exactly. Have you ever thought Bruneian? Farhana did London Fashion Week in London.
Yeah, right.
And I did Milan.
That's amazing, kan?
You think about tipu dorang ni.
Oh, macam
but it's out there. I got nothing to hide. It's out there. Maybe it's not from Brunei media, but then it was out there. You know, like when I did, it was a good write-up for other medias as well.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, people are really curious. Are normally orang luar. But I don't. Farhana is big here, so there's no introduction needed for her. But like for me, I'm still new here. But Alhamdulillah, Indonesia is accepting me with open arms. My clientele are growing there as well. So that's the reason why I left Dubai. I'm still going to continue sending out to Dubai because one of my tailors is there. My head tailor is there. But I'm going to move to Indonesia soon because of another job offer that I couldn't resist. It's a really good one. Also in the creative industry where I will be in charge for C of product and design and the service. But at the same time, it would give me the opportunity to explore more and to learn from other local Indonesian designers of how they do
That's
things.
so
So I
cool.
move to Jakarta next couple of weeks.
Are you excited?
Takut.
Oh, takut.
But not knowing that I did the same thing all over again, because it's really sad.
Wait, ngapa bilang takut?
You know, like when I moved to Singapore, you make friends and then you lose
Yeah.
your friends.
Yeah.
You know, and then you move back here, you make friends and then you leave them behind again. And I moved to Dubai. I got lovely, your friends that becomes your family when you
Yeah.
live there, you know, and along the way. And then I make new friends in Indonesia and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really, really old friends as well. Some in Indonesia who actually supported me and being my mentor as well
Mm-hmm.
to where I need to see my directions that I want to go.
Takut kenapa?
So you have, well, it's a risk, like I said.
Uncertainty. You're worried about
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
right.
I have a small percentage of clientele in Indonesia, which is
Mm.
getting bigger and bigger, but I shouldn't be afraid of that. But what I really encourage, especially when it comes to mental health, is not easy because
Mhm.
there's a lot of risks. There's a lot of other things that, you know, whether it's going to work or not work. But you know what? My philosophy is to go with the flow.
Mm.
If you think about what other people think about you, you're never going to progress.
Yeah.
If you
I
think
know.
about the things that I've gone through, people say, oh yeah, things are easy for you and all that. You don't know my true story. You don't know what's left, maybe like zero in my bank account sometimes, that, you know, like the things that I need to get things ready in order to keep up with my clientele.
Mm.
You don't know that the clothes that on the papers, it looks good, it was sold, but did I receive some of the money?
Yeah.
Which I didn't. You know, like there's a lot of things that I need to learn because it was a one-man show back then. You know, like you do your own house.
Bukan you have accountant.
Yeah, kan your own bookkeeping and all that.
Oh.
But once the shop actually cheat on you, Jua, and all that, there's a lot of things into consideration. But you know what? That doesn't stop you to progress.
Wow.
And to be careful.
How do you do that?
Well, take a mental note. Next time, you don't do the same mistake.
It's
Put it
all
in the right thing.
learning process lah.
Exactly, yeah. You know, I used to be nice. Oh, never mind. But, you know, Fadzil, Imitex, you know, is retail. We only can pay you after 3 months. We cannot put the 6 months. So, oh, that's fine. But sometimes you got so complacent with the things. Oh, yeah, bayar je that month. But then again, okay, it's okay. Then you never know, the shop closed. But if you put it in writing, you chase what you're supposed to do, like your contracts, read your contracts thoroughly. You read. I think you learn to know. You're bound to meet liars, or you're bound to meet like people who are genuine with your things and all that. So yeah,
not
you have to
taking advantage and not respecting who you are.
I know. So you need to learn. And then the same thing with my mom. Yeah, I remember when she used to sell all the kain and all that. She used to have her 555 book. I call it buku tang.
Yang damit atas.
Exactly. and in Brunei, you know how it is. You know, with the economy, maybe wasn't so stable for them, and maybe in the basar. So she make it loose by getting people to pay her like 3 times or twice. You know,
installment.
Exactly, installment and all that. But it's sad to say, because I wasn't there for her, you know, like I was in Dubai and she's here. There are still people who haven't paid her. So that's the thing, you know. Kalau butang tu ingat. Yeah.
You know what I noticed?
I also utang people sometimes, you know, like with my suppliers. So
benar. Kadang I notice like people will leave you hanging in the bayar because they think you don't need the money, you rich. Macam tu lah. Macam yang ni okay ni.
You only knew.
You know what I mean? They just.
You think I made that out of dust? Poop magic.
That's what they think.
You know, like Banang Ato, the scissors. I use a really good scissors. The embroidery, it doesn't come cheap. The bigger you want it, the bigger how it costs.
You know how to sew?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't, right?
I don't know how to sew my button.
Okay, so you don't want to be seen as a fashion designer, yet you are designing it, right?
I call it more of a creative process. Some people call it this creative creative director of fashion houses.
Oh, that's what you are.
If you ask me to put it as a sketch on a paper or on an iPad, you call it these days. So it's actually there. But when it comes to the selection of the fabrics and what goes along with it, it's like how you construct a house.
Yes.
There's a lot of contractors.
Yes.
But how do you put them together? What kind of tiles do you put?
Yes.
What kind of skin color? You know, everybody's different. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You know, no matter how much you pay for it. But this is where the creative process that I learned from.
You're that guy.
I'm more of that guy. Actually,
Okay.
that's how I go shopping. Before, I just blindly bali, impulse, and then bertumpuk kain banyak-banyak.
Berarti
I never do
mikirkan.
with it.
Sekarang mikirkan.
Exactly. But I always think about, I'm going to do this collection. This will be good for my next collection next time. Kumpul tiap. But I never come around and do it, And then I learned it properly from my head teller Janie. It's like, this is how you do it, and how many yards you need based on this sketch. There's an index card and how much that it costs to construct, how many batu or the beads and the Swarovskis that you use for this particular thing.
Alright.
So you add up, and then you multiple berapa just to get your
Itu baru business.
Exactly.
Main cincai.
So if you think it as a hobby, make sure you make your hobby straight and right. But then again, there's no such thing as you never go wrong, because this is how you learn. It's a process how you learn, actually. But you are very lucky now. There's a lot of references that you go through. There's always YouTube. There's always now UTB have the fashion faculty for fashion design. Where all these things actually never come handy for me.
You learn by yourself.
Yeah, I'm I would say self-taught, belajar sendiri.
Self-taught.
But then again, my mentor are the people who I worked with back then.
You learn along the way.
Being busybody, we call it kepo. You sit down there, how they do the cutting and all that.
So you can learn like that. No?
It's a lengthy process, but you learn something at least. Yeah.
Interesting. And I think, okay, I have a cousin, right? We always try to do some business along the way. We always think of business. And then the only thing that stops us from doing anything big is the criticisms. Like,
I get it today,
is it?
These people comes from your friends or even your immediate family. I remember I told my mom, so some days I'm like, oh, she can cook, the neighbor can cook. Maybe one day, you know what, don't waste your time doing this and that. Like sometimes when you have something in your mind, the things that you want to do, it's better to keep it to yourself.
Benar.
Instead of you want unnecessary voices around you, I know you want to get your opinion across, something to share with. Hey, you know what? I want to do this. Maybe just keep it between you and your cousin, but don't share with anybody else. If you believe in the things that you want to do, if you do it right, you have maybe I'm sure there's one or two of your other friends who actually can contribute more to give you insights of what would not. Maybe they got experience with that. Take and learn it from them. But if there's criticism, like a negative one, nada, jangan tadi buat tu, banyak je orang buat satu. The same thing like the people who used to say it to me, say, Fadzil, I don't think you can do it. Like, how many fashion designers in Indonesia are doing the same thing as you are? Well, whoever it is, well, you know who you are. I made it.
Yay.
Made to the same place again. That same place, that I thought I can never be part of them, and I'm part of them. Alhamdulillah.
I think that at least sometimes when I think about it, if someone says that to your face, I'd at least confirm you know who said it kan. Ada kadang I find it's worse when you say it to yourself.
Self-doubt is always there.
Do you have that?
Of course.
Paloy
Very paloy.
That's why.
Like I remember my mom used to say that you might not think that you not like it, or never ever say to you, like, let's say you like something, say, nada, bukan colour mo to. But then again, you like it. Why should you listen to other people?
Go with you, right?
It feels good on you, then do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to other people to say that, oh, this is not good for you. And then this is the thing about some people is here. Maybe orang Melayu lah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Jangan tah bagus kan to. Like
payah
that.
Je to. Payah.
Payah or jangan tah mahal tu. But have you ever thought, why is it mahal? Have you ever thought murah? You get one washes and you have to buy again. Do you know what I mean? If you learn something which is worth it, if you think the bags actually look good on you and then it keeps you, rather than you buying something cheap and you only last you for a year and you buang.
And you even like it.
Exactly. And there's no value. So why not do it for something, Sometimes, even with style, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be cheap. But as long as it's good quality and lasts you long. Yeah, don't care about jangan baju ni basar baju ni araku sampit baju ni araku. Yeah, but if you feel good wearing it regardless, and you have the confidence for it, why not? So I always okay lah, sometimes take a deep breath, take a breather. And I'm one of those actually. If you hear, if you keep listening to all this, it's okay if it's your mental, not kau seorang saja menangap.
Oh.
You always like half side of you believe in what you want to do, and the other half say, okay, are you sure this is right? Are you sure this is going to be okay? There are some collections where I did, it's like, okay, what was I thinking? Sometimes,
Ada je bah,
yeah, of course, like, what was I thinking? It may
Right.
not sell now, but again, it's a funny thing. It's the same thing. I put it on again the following year. That's the one that I actually did it last year, and then you didn't
Yeah.
buy it, you know.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it came up. Like
Yeah.
I remember, it's like, oh, I heard about your name before. Oh my god, I think I have your brand before. Is this yours? And then it seems like, aku kan eh? Oh yeah, I said, what you get it? Yeah, you used to be like, but
Yeah,
I bought this from
evolve.
Baju.
Yeah,
Exactly.
evolution.
And I thought, my mom bought it, my sister bought it, and I bought it. And I feel really good actually seeing all this, from other people. And this
Right.
is when I thought that collection didn't do well, but other people appreciate it. So
Yeah.
I always think about this as well. If it looks good on another person, it looks bad on another person, it looks good on another person.
Yeah.
But as long as they feel good about it, why do you want to interrupt?
Apa?
Like jangan tahu sibuk sana tu. But if you got to think about it, it's just destroying yourself at the end of the day. Jangan
Mana?
ingar, we talk it in bahasa Brunei. So just believe.
Oh, ingat.
Jangan ingar. Jangan ingar. Malas tu ingau, with all that.
Oh.
So inhale positivity, exhale negativity. I always say that. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Never expect the unexpected. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it would not.
You never know. That's the thing. You just
I
never know.
I thought maybe I would last 1 or 2 years, but thank God it's still okay. But then again, I may be here today talking to you about this. I may be gone again tomorrow. There's somebody else is new coming.
Right.
But that's part of life. You just have to keep improving yourself and believe in what you believe in. I guess as long as you sustain in this business, and there's always people who support you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If people don't support you, they go for product D or E, then self-analyze yourself again. But don't think about it too much as being like, oh, orang tu suka aku lagi. No, you don't have to think that way again. There's you open the doors to other people to appreciate you more.
Like, because I'm a makeup artist as well, right? So I used to have that a lot. I quit at one point.
Yeah.
Just because I felt so hard to please everyone. But then that's the problem. You think your job is to please everyone.
Yeah.
But how? Only the client used to like it. That's
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
It was
I know.
really hard to get over
I have
that.
a makeup artist friend who says the same thing as well.
It was hard.
And then she said like, and then kadang-kadang aku nak shading sampai macam zebra kau, like shading hidung. Yeah. And then said that no matter how you tell your clients that doesn't work for them, but they want to buy it. How could you stop them?
Yeah, it's so hard, right?
Right. So
it's like that clients. We have to.
That's why there's always a thing saying that customers are always right. Listen to your customers.
Especially for the creative industry, like it's art bar, it's like in and then it's out.
Bukan
out and in.
Mas ni as a makeup artist, you just put it down there and look. Whatever you point out in a magazine, you're gonna end up look the same. But at the end, the muka berminyak-minyak and all that, the blending is wrong. That you use the wrong brushes. So if people don't see about the effort that you put on a makeup, the technique, the brushes and all that, you could do the same. You probably have the same brief. You put 10 people here. You have to put 10 models. Unless it's from the hand of the one makeup artist, then it will look all the same throughout the 10 models. But you have about 2-3 people, which is differently, even though you follow the same brief, but everybody have a different technique.
Yeah,
so,
the way they see it.
Exactly.
Someone with the baju and everything. It's
exactly,
everything's art. Some people like it, some people don't. That's it.
Yeah, but don't take it hard. Yeah. It's not easy. As much as I want to say that to you right now, like tell them not to be, ada. I will be lying if I say, you don't self-analyze yourself. I'm a Virgo, it has to be like perfect to us. If it's 1 inch, it's not 1.5 inch. It's 1 inch, If it's like, if I say 1, 2, 3, that's it, 1, 2, 3. I do not expect any 4 or 5, or I don't expect anything 0.5. So it has to be, believe in what
precise.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Oh, that's great. So I hope the listeners who are probably thinking they want to get into this kind of creative industry, that they can gain from what you just shared.
Creative industry, put it this way, creative industry, you have to be involved, you have to be see what's happening all the time. a lot of things taking into consideration, like the climate of the political, geographically, as
Mm.
well, like what's happening in the US right now. It does have an impact of things that you want to do. For
Mm.
instance, like one country who sanctioned from another one,
Mm.
and because of that, maybe they couldn't get the sources to do the
Yeah.
right thing, and then they
Complicated.
impose the tax and all that.
Uh.
So things become mahal and all that. And
Yeah.
also appreciate what other people put the price in for their product, because if you have a good product, people willing to pay, and those people who think they have a really good product don't try to push these people, like you can go to any makeup artist when you can actually go to Heidi to do a makeup, but her work is good. You know what I mean? So you don't, oh, tapi sana murah agak sana, but are you going to have the same result?
Yeah.
So value what people give you back at the same time as well. If you give product, then let to appreciate. If they name their price, that's the price. Of course, at the end of the day, we have a room for negotiation as well, and to please everybody.
It depends, right? Depends.
Depends, yeah.
Depends on the person.
We want repeat customers,
Yes.
Bukan sekali saja nak nampak lagi. Yeah.
I feel as well, it does depend on if that person appreciates you.
Exactly.
You're more happier
Exactly,
to consider this and that.
So the people who don't appreciate you, and then just all the noise, like the
like-
dog barking at the background,
Oh.
let it be.
Just
I'm here, you're there.
Just-
I don't
even know the word. Just
yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're not happy about it, keep the opinion to yourself, or maybe you want to go to your close friends. Let it be, but they have their own clients.
exactly right.
Yeah. There you go.
Absolutely. Yay. Oh, I'm glad we managed to meet today.
Finally.
I know. I have a celebrity here. Okay, everyone.
Celebrate, please. I'm just here
You
to help.
are a bright star, and you don't even know it. That's the great thing about
No,
you.
I don't think it that way. I still have a lot of rooms to learn. I still have open doors. I still learn. Still have a lot to learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I accomplished anything much yet. There's a lot to.
I think
to
that's
learn.
what people young successful in their industry think.
They will be greedy for
That's
more.
how they
want to
feel.
learn more.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not like I know everything.
Like, oh yeah, I am what I am.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's a process.
terus
It's not 1 or 2 years process. Today you design, you know how to make clothes, you want to sell it tomorrow. No, it took me years. And I'm still, there's so many that I haven't, I haven't gone through yet.
Kanya jam perasan je tu kala.
I'm sure ada lah ego atau kadang-kadang lah.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself in
Yeah,
that,
for sure, of
Otherwise,
course.
you don't have your self-esteem. But still, you just know you draw the line somewhere between appreciate what people appreciate you for what you are, and also at the same time remember there's always somebody better than you.
Yeah, there's always somewhere to strive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's awesome. Thank you so much, Fadzil. And I love everything you shared, and I hope people out there can, accomplish, follow your footsteps if they're
Insha Allah, I
into
love to
that.
see more of the people in the creative industry
Yeah.
in Brunei, especially because we have a lot of creative young people.
Yeah, Brunei
And
is
I met
very
them a lot
creative.
ever since I'm here, for
Yeah.
even though a brief time that I'm here in Brunei, but I met a lot of creative people. Here.
And we've got talent, okay?
We do. We just need to
Yes.
push and percaya diri saja.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning into my podcast. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.